Hi everyone, I'm Lindsay. So this is a lesson for a kindergarten class made up of 20 students, one teacher, and a teacher's assistant. The objective of this lesson is to figure out what the author doesn't tell you using story information and what you already know. So this is probably the first time that these children will ever hear about inferencing, and what it means and how to do it, how to make inferences. So the Common Core ELA standards addressed in this lesson are CCRA R.1. Read closely to determine what the text says explicitly and to make logical inferences from it. Cite specific textual evidence when writing or speaking to support conclusions drawn from the text. It also addresses RLK1 with prompting and support, ask and answer questions about key details in a text. So the lesson begins with the children gathered on the carpet for whole group instruction. And I wouldn't start out by saying that, today we're going to learn about inferences. I would want to intrigue them and spark their interest by jumping right into the activity. And then I'll go through what inferencing is. So children benefit from whole group time when a teacher uses it to orient them to upcoming activity that will occur during center time or projects. And that's according to Camp, page 295. So I'll pique the students' interest by having them participate in the activity, what's in my bag. So I would start out by saying, boys and girls, I brought my bag in today, my pocketbook that I carry every day, and I'm going to let us go through it and see what's in my bag and see if we can figure out what some of those items mean to me and why you think I may have them. So I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but I would pull out a few items such as these. I have a diaper in here. I have Purell. I have AirPods, a library card. So these are some of the items that I would pull out, and hopefully I would elicit the students to figure out what it tells them about me. So for instance, a diaper would tell them that I have a child, specifically a child that's young and is not potty trained yet. If I have a library card, it may mean that I love to read or that I like to go to the library. Hand sanitizer, I care about my health. I want to stay germ-free. I want to stay clean. AirPods, I listen to music a lot, or I exercise using them, or I'm on the go a lot and need my hands to be free. So these are some things that I would have them figure out. Then I would lead into what inferencing is and let them know that what they were just doing here by looking at the object and then figuring out what that tells them about me, that they just really made an inference. So then I would introduce that vocabulary word. So I have another chart here. That says inference. It's what we can tell from putting together clues from the text and what we already know. So we would have a little discussion about that. Okay, let's see. Okay, so then I would explain to the children that they would be moving into center activities. During learning center time, children have opportunities to plan, initiate, and make choices and to practice their developing skills, which is essentially for mastery. And that also came from Camp, page 295. So I'm going to go through the 4 centers, which I would also be going through with my students. So the first center would be a dramatic play / conversation station. So I got this idea from the article Conversation Stations Promoting Language Development in Young Children by Mary Alice Bond and Barbara A. Wasick. So as stated by Dickinson and Newman and Wright, one of the most effective strategies for promoting children's language development is engaging them in one-to-one conversations. And that came from Camp, page 385. So in this station, there would be paper plates set up there that look like these. So they have different emotions on them. So students would choose a partner in this station. They would choose a partner that they're going to work with, and they have to choose one paper plate. So they pick an emotion, and then they get to dress up using some of the props that I will have in the classroom. So I have a doctor's lab coat. I have a police coat, a fireman's hat, just a regular sun hat. So this could be like for a grandmother or a child, whatever their choice is. I have a pocketbook here. So just different props that they can use. So they get to choose a prop and then act out a conversation between that person and another person. So for instance, if I choose the doctor's lab coat and I'm going to choose this kind of worried face, I might say, I have some bad news to tell you. Your dog has fleas. Even though this is something that can be taken care of, it is something that's serious and you have to give it medicine and so on and so forth. So I would have my teacher's assistant sitting at this station to kind of gauge their conversation as well as prompt them along and help them to continue the conversation. Okay, then we have the music center. So that would be the second center. So music tells us a lot about emotions and mood based on the tempo of the music, the rhythm. So I would show them this. This would be at the station with them. So this is mood, the feelings or emotions that you have when you read literature, see art, or hear music. So I would explain to them that this is another way that we make inferences is by listening to music and trying to figure out what that mood is of the song or of the artist who's singing it. So they would be listening to different songs and they would get this worksheet to fill out. And on this worksheet, they have to guess the mood of the song. And they have to draw a picture or write a few words describing what they're thinking or feeling while listening to the song. So some suggestions of songs that you can put on there. The Charlie Brown theme song, Star Wars, the Imperial March, Eye of the Tiger, the Halloween movie theme song. I mean, the list is endless. Just make sure that they are appropriate before having the children listen to them, obviously. I chose the center because according to the article Beyond Twinkle Twinkle, music evokes feelings even when there are no words. One recent study found that babies as young as 5 months old are able, under some conditions, to discriminate between happy and sad musical experts. And that came from Parlakian and Lerner, 2010, on page 15. The third station would be a read aloud with me. And that read aloud would be I'm a Frog by Mo Willems. I'm just going to show you. I don't have the book on hand, but this is what the cover of the book looks like. Mo Willems does a great job of illustrating and showing all of the emotions on his characters' faces. So just to give you a little background, throughout the story, the main characters, Gerald and Piggy, have an animated conversation about playing pretend. The illustrations in the book show very detailed pictures of the characters' faces. I would prompt students to infer what the character is thinking and or feeling at that particular part of the story. And the story ends with Gerald finally understanding what playing pretend is all about, and he pretends to be a cow. So readers must infer that Gerald finally gets it. And I would help students try to see this as we're reading the story. And I would be doing different questioning techniques and just assessing if they're understanding how to make inferences throughout. Small groups make it possible for each child to see the pictures, follow the print, participate in a discussion, and comprehend the story better. Small group readings make it more feasible for teachers to interact with children before, during, and after reading. And that came from Breda Camp, page 389. The final center would be an independent practice. So this is where students will practice making inferences by reading a short story. And then students must infer where the character is in the story. They will draw a picture of where he is and then write a clue from the text that help them figure that out. So that would look like this. This is called Fred the Cat, and it's just a quick little short story. They draw a picture of where Fred is, and then how do you know? They have to write where in the story they figure that out. Something just quickly to go back on that I forgot from the beginning. What's in my teacher's bag? After we go through all of the items in my bag and I fill out the chart, students get to choose 3 of the items that I pulled out of my bag, and then they draw the object here. That's what the O stands for. And then the I is the inference. So what does that tell them about me? So assessment. Throughout the lesson, informal assessment will be taking place through questioning, especially during whole group and small group instruction. My teacher's aide will be doing a play-based assessment in the dramatic play conversation station, and also students' worksheets from the music center and the independent practice center will be assessed and collected after the period is over. Thank you so much.